is a historic moment, and Nigeria are Olympic champions.
The eagle has long been symbolic of the unity that ties all diverse strands of Nigerian greatness together. With unprecedented access and clarity, the eye of the eagle goes behind the scenes of federal and subnational government in Nigeria. From the corridors of power where cross-sectoral policy in Africa's largest economy is formed, we travel into cities and rural communities nationwide where we bring policy actors to the grassroots to account for their tenures, all while engaging with citizens who express their unfiltered views on policy implementation. Join me, Ajuri Ngelale, to see that which has long been hidden, exclusively on Channels Television.
Friends and patriots, welcome and good evening to you. My name is Ajuri Ngelale, and I come to you from the nation's capital. This is Eagle Eye. On this edition of the program, we take you into the heart of Nigeria's commercial nerve center, where development tends to take on a unique importance of national scale, serving not just as a unifying center for Nigerians who dwell peacefully and often profitably with each other. The Southwest is the most strategic link between the Nigerian nation and the rest of the world, particularly in economic terms. As an international and domestic gateway for trade, air travel, cultural exchange, and bustling business activity, what happens in the Southwest, where Nigerians of all diverse backgrounds meld into one, affects every Nigerian living anywhere in the country. We go there and take you beyond the headlines on an adventure down to ground zero, to ascertain whether or not infrastructural rebirth in the region is fact or fiction. The answer might just surprise you. But first, before we go to the Southwest, I take you into confidence this evening in this week's entry from my briefing memoranda. It is no secret at this stage of our national life that public resources alone are simply not enough to recover over 50 years' worth of neglected infrastructure, and certainly not enough to add to our nation's current stock of public infrastructure with a ton of new projects. This is the case for the federal government of Nigeria, and is also true even when combining the resources of the federal and subnational governments of this country. This is a statement of pragmatic fact rather than a lamentation, which is why President Muhammadu Buhari took the unprecedented step of declaring a ban on all new projects being inserted by federal ministries, departments, and agencies into successive federal budgets since 2019, unless they have sufficiently resourced all ongoing projects to the extent of completion within the life of his administration. Understanding that infrastructure is of little use to Nigerians and Nigeria if it remains merely a plan or a paper drawing as it had been over past decades, this presidential directive serves to make the most of existing public capital expenditure to effect tangible progress toward the actualization of Nigeria's National Development Plan 2021 to 2025. But while this is an important step in the right direction, the ambition to transform Nigeria's long-neglected infrastructure across sectors, from airports and seaports to railways and roads to power plants, MSME facilitation and dams, relies heavily on innovative public sector governance that can unlock massively present private sector capital in Nigeria for the development of our public infrastructure. Of course, Nigerians are rightly skeptical when they hear terms like concession, privatization, and PPP because of a decrepit transactional history in which critically important public infrastructure was too often handed over to incompetent and non-buoyant crony firms of successive governments. However, in recent times, we have seen a significant inflow of private sector funds into public infrastructure projects through innovative instruments, such as President Muhammadu Buhari's Executive Order 007, also known as the Road Refurbishment Tax Credit Program, in which private companies reconstruct federal roadways in exchange for calibrated tax relief. This has led to the reconstruction of several critical road arteries, such as the 199 billion naira Boni-Bodo Road constructed newly by NLNG and Onitsha-Enugu Expressway being reconstructed by MTN, amongst many others nationwide. Furthermore, President Muhammadu Buhari has authorized the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to oversee the establishment of the new 15 trillion naira Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria, also known as Infraco, with a startup seed of 1 trillion naira. Working closely with globally renowned audit firms to eliminate the potential of future bureaucratic interference, transparent processes are now being cultivated to raise massive private capital from around the world through Infraco toward bankable public infrastructure projects in Nigeria across sectors. This is in addition to an unprecedented oversubscription of sukuk bonds by private investors who annually invest well over 100 billion naira in 44 consistently developing federal road projects across all states of the Federation. These initiatives run separate from the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF, which channels previously looted funds repatriated to Nigeria, in addition to other invested public and private resources to fully construct new and reconstruct old federal road and bridge infrastructure through to completion, including the 336 billion naira Second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano Expressway. These initiatives are all intentionally structured to provide funding directly to the contractors without the historical budget diversions and other forms of political and bureaucratic interference which tend to delay or stop projects from reaching completion. More importantly, these crucial PIDF projects are all set for 2022 and 2023 completion. It is in view of these progressive steps that the new National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 calls for a total public and private sector investment commitment of about 348.1 trillion naira over the next 4 years, with an estimated 298.3 trillion naira, or 85.7% of the plan, expected from the private sector. This means that government at all levels must synergize in playing their critical roles to remove all policy and environmental obstacles to further investment. While it serves Nigeria well that these are all innovations launched in implementation by President Muhammadu Buhari, the reality is that policy sustainability and morally credible federal leadership in the years after his administration terminates will prove essential if the private sector is going to continue to maintain the newfound confidence it has discovered recently to invest in Nigerian public infrastructure under the current policy environment creditably established by President Muhammadu Buhari. Share your thoughts and constructive comments with us on the Eagle Eye Facebook and Instagram page. We go deeper after this short break. Do stay with us.
On a very early morning in Nigeria's city that never sleeps, the people of Lagos are out in droves to beat the AM traffic. Of course, gridlock and patches of deteriorated road often form a mosaic that is the Lagosian experience, whether you move in a big car or as a visitor just trying to get through traffic on the back of an Okada. Quality road signage may be something taken for granted in other climes, but for this visitor, these new Nigerian green installations across the country provide regional context to present location. It is here on the long, daunting Lagos-Ota-Abeokuta Expressway that one truly encounters a microcosm of Nigeria's current road development trajectory. As a beneficiary road of the over 100 billion naira Sukuk bond funding, first commenced in 2017, that annually funds contractors for the consistent construction of over 44 federal road projects crossing every state of the Federation, the 81-kilometer Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway shows in chilling illustration both the new Sukuk-funded reconstruction side by side with the old status quo, death trap condition it had long been left in. Corruption over the decades has killed many on this road, long budgeted for but abandoned until recent years. This roadway has maimed lives and destroyed countless vehicles, and for local residents, progress on this critical artery is most welcome and could not have come soon enough.
Especially this our road, this Abeokuta Expressway from Kola to Toll Gate was very, very bad. Different accidents, bike, all those people crossing overside, so it affects a lot of people. But since I can see maybe since early this year, I can see a lot of things is changing, and many people we are enjoying the road for now, because we are still praising Buhari because he has done this one for us, because we don't even think it can happen this year at all, because we don't think about it. We have already abandoned the road, thinking of when God says yes. But thank God that he has already looked after us and look upon us to help us to do the road.
I've been here more than 50 years. But what I experienced on this road by the time I was here now is very bad, critical. But we thank God now, because for the people that are using this Abeokuta Express Road, so they can testify what I'm saying. Because the past government, they do their best, but we cannot justify them. But we thank God for what this present government have done for every Nigerian. We are always have accidents here, even with a truck. Even many people have abandoned this road to pass, even it affects the business. But for now, I'm sure for the last 2 weeks now, if anybody pass through Abeokuta Express, they will thank God for what government have done.
The supervising engineer responsible for overseeing works on this road artery briefs us on how progress reached this stage.
The Sukuk intervention brought by Mr. President has been consistent, and it has accelerated the pace of the work. Here, we have not really spent 1 year of good work, and we have delivered this. And I can tell you in another few months, when the contractors resume to site, because once they are mobilized, once the fund is there, they work and they deliver the work. So in a very short time, that side I can assure you. And also, we will divert the traffic to this side where we want to work. So there will be no disturbance of the traffic. This road that was awarded in 2018, actually we started work in 2020, late 2020, and you can see where we are. You can see the finished surface of the road. So the road has been properly done to take care of the load, because we know that we have a lot of pressure. More so that this road is a gateway road to the country, because Ogun State is a gateway state where the border is. So we pass all vehicles from the border, they pass through this place with heavy loads. So it has been of great importance to the economy.
In an economically strategic port corridor so fundamental to Nigeria's current pursuit of economic boom via enhanced export and trade, the Apapa port axis, once a frustrating well capturing agonized Nigerian teardrops, is fast becoming key evidence of Nigeria's infinite capacity to remake itself. If the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway perfectly captures the old versus the new, then the new 94 billion naira Apapa-Oworonshoki Tollgate Road tells of a reimagining of African road engineering, with the full application of Dangote Construction's concrete road technology, made possible by President Muhammadu Buhari's Presidential Executive Order 007, which offers calibrated tax relief in exchange for upfront private investment in federal roads nationwide.
In front of me is 200 millimeters of reinforced grade 40 concrete, made up of about 144,000 metric tons of cement, which is equivalent to about 2.9 million 50-kilogram bags of cement. We call it reinforced because it's reinforced by these very important steel beams called reinforcement beams. We have about 25,000 metric tons of steel throughout the 36 kilometers of this 10-lane Apapa-Oronshoki tollgate road, which is being reconstructed by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in order to ensure that we have a road that will have double the lifeline of previous roads in this axis. Very strategic coming out of Apapa Port because you have very heavily loaded vehicles coming out, quickly eroding traditional asphalt roads. This road is reinforced by these steel beams, about 25,000 metric tons of steel rods running throughout the 36 kilometers of this concrete road. You have these steel beams that have been excavated down by 2 meters into the ground as anchor beams every 2.5 kilometers, being tied now to these reinforcement steel beams running throughout the duration of the entire expressway. This is important because it provides the kind of strength, reinforcement and stability for these heavily loaded vehicles over the course of its new 40-year lifespan.
After the Dangote Construction Company successfully built the longest concrete road in Africa, the 43-kilometer Obajana-Kaba Road in Kogi State, also built under the Presidential Road Refurbishment Tax Credit Scheme, the Apapa Tollgate Road, upon its December 2022 completion, will open Nigeria for unencumbered business with the rest of the world. With President Muhammadu Buhari's unprecedented scale of investment in railway modernization across the country, including the newly built Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge railway linking Apapa and Tin Can ports with the function of decongesting roads nationwide with rail offtake of heavy loads at the ports, new roads in the region are set to last longer and serve better than their 1960s and 70s era predecessors.
Currently, we are around Section 3, which is around Sele. Yeah, as you can see, the project is around this section is fully completed. Here we have 10 lanes, meaning we have on both sides we have 3 lanes on the main carriageway, 2 lanes on the service lane. So meaning total we have, and it's fully concrete road. So we've replaced the existing asphalt pavement here with concrete pavement, which is called rigid pavement in engineering terms. So that's what we've done, and we've also provided for adequate draining capacity so as to be able to drain the runoff from this road into the canal. Out of a 36-kilometer length, we've completed up to 27 kilometers as at now. So the remaining 8+ kilometers is within Section 2, which is from Beachland to Sele, which we just commenced around October this year. But Section 1, 3 and 4. Section 1 is from Apapa to Beachland, has been completed. Section 3 is from Sele to Anthony, has been completed. And the rigid pavement, that's the concrete pavement on Section 4, from Anthony to Tollgate, has also been completed. So the work we are doing basically now is on Section 2 and the asphalt section in Section 4, which is towards the tollgate.
And so we had to totally redo it.
The Honorable Minister of Works and Housing says the broad spectrum of initiatives galvanizing unprecedented private sector funding for the development of public infrastructure can be attributed to the single-minded determination of one man to provide a multi-sectoral infrastructure base on which Nigerians can build a new and greater nation.
For the Apapa-Oronshoki Road, built in 1975, addressed from different angles, this is the enduring and final solution, built with concrete. So those are the impactful results of this initiative. The Sukuk, of course, was another initiative. Those who wanted to play politics with it said we wanted to use it to Islamize Nigeria. But I challenge them that when we got the money, they should tell us not to give them their own share because we divided it equally between the 6 zones. But no zone came up to say we don't want the money. So we have 44 roads now being impacted by the Sukuk. Then we have the Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. That's an initiative of the President himself, going around the world trying to recover monies that have been removed from Nigeria by previous administrations in clearly illegal circumstances. And because of the gravitas and the trust that they have, they are releasing this money, so it is impacting Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, impacting the second Niger Bridge, and impacting the Abuja-Kano Highway. And you will see transparency and results.
To traverse the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway today is in many ways to bridge Nigeria's yesteryear with its present march toward global reckoning. Built in the mid-1970s, the 127-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Expressway would become the nation's most strategic economic route, linking Nigeria's food and textile production hubs in the north to the commercially bustling southwest for onward internal distribution nationwide and external trade with the world. The present infrastructural renaissance on this crucial interregional link route includes multi-lane expansion and new interchanges to advance regional integration, with the work across the two major sections now at over 85% completion. The fourth quarter 2022 completion target is set to be met, and the supervising engineer says new additions will transform the landscape of the entire region.
This interchange here along this Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has a critical role it has to play because this place is surrounded by a lot of communities. And then if you recall, there's an interchange at Chagam that takes pressure from Shagamu down to Abeokuta. This is supposed to be like a supplementary interchange. One, it leads from Ikorodu across to Abeokuta. And this interchange has 4 clover leaves. So when people are coming from Ibadan and they want to make a turn, they can make it on it. And more so, because of the concentration of religious activities here, where you have the Muslim community, the Redeem and Co. So this interchange is necessary. It's like a link from the Lagos State Port to other states of Nigeria. You are going to the north, you have to pass through this area. You are going to the east, you are passing through this area. It has attracted a lot of commerce into this area, which has been beneficial to the people around here. So for this reason, the location of this interchange is playing a vital role.
Can Nigerians really expect that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, abandoned for decades, that it will actually be completed during the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari?
Yes, this road as it is now is supposed to be a 43.6 kilometer road for this section. About 38 kilometers has been completed. You know, you have just about 5 kilometers, and we have just about May 2022 definitely is going to be delivered, and people will reap the benefit. So the government is pushing everything and doing everything humanly possible to make sure that this road is developed safe and sound. Prior to this time, you discover that people have been having cause to sleep on this road where they are robbed. But as we're coming from Ojota today, you discover that it was a free road, more so that it's really tight season, no single hold-up.
We're walking area now. What remains for us to do is the crash barrier, and we have another 4 days of asphalt. Is first binder, second binder, and after that we complete the median drain and the crash barrier, we complete with the final layer of wearing.
Ogun State Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Ahmed Umar, notes that from a history of endless crash sites, the recent amelioration of the once deplorable conditions on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway has given way to the facilitation of safe travel for Nigerians.
Number one, the road is not only reconstructed and rehabilitated, it has been expanded as well, accommodating more vehicles. And this has saved a lot of man-hours in terms of movement. We are aware that global economies runs on mobility, and it has saved a lot. people and their goods are moving freely. This is kudos to the federal government.
The Minister of Works and Housing says the over 13,000 kilometers of federal road currently under reconstruction, rehabilitation, and new construction across 800 projects meander through nearly all senatorial districts of the country, and the Southwest is no exception.
So the Oyo-Ogbomoso Road, which is provide relief to the Ogbomoso town, which is an old and ancient road being subject to very heavy vehicular road, is now one of the roads that will be funded by the NNPC tax credit. So we have asked all the contractors under that initiative to double their efforts, order more materials, deploy more plant and equipment, so we should see some remarkable progress. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway we expect to finish this year. Then there is the road from Abeokuta to Ibadan. Abeokuta-Ibadan road. There are also roads in Osun that are nearing completion. There's a lot going on, and as we enter into the new year, we will bring up those that have been completed again and go and do the handover and dedication for use.
I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with you, and I look forward to your company as I host you once again next week at this same time on this network. Until next time, may God Almighty go with you, and as eagles, may we all soar and lift our nation high as we do.